The last tweaks that we're going to make to this involve combining columns and rows. So if we look here, this year 1954, we actually want that to occupy the row it's in and the row below. We kind of want to merge those two rows. And same with the name of the movie. We would like Rear Window to occupy the row it's in and the row below. So we want to do like a merge. And in HTML, the way you do that is you have to use the row span attribute. So we are going to be using it to combine rows. So we're going to do it for 1954 and Rear Window, but we're also going to do it for 1954 and Dial M for Murder, 1956, The Man Who Knew Too Much. We're basically going to be combining all of those rows. Then when we get to the very bottom, this information retrieved that's in the footer, we actually want that to span the second and third column. So we're going to use call span, that attribute, to merge these columns. And once we do that, it's going to look a whole lot better. And we are going to start here with 1954. So we want this row, this cell, to occupy its current space and this empty space that's right here. And the way we do that is we add row span equals 2. And that makes this one cell occupy this space and the space below. So we do not need this TD here anymore. So we're going to get rid of it. And Rear Window, we want to do the same thing with. We want it to occupy this space, but we also want it to occupy the empty cell below. So we're going to add row span equals 2. And then we're going to get rid of this empty cell. And I'm going to save this and show you what this looks like. And we've basically merged those two cells. And that looks a whole lot better. So let's come back over. We're going to do it for the rest of them. And if you want to do some copying, we can actually copy row span equals 2, and we can paste it into the year and the movie. But we have to remember to get rid of those empty cells below by deleting them. Well, again, we're going to paste it into the year and the movie. Get rid of those empty cells. Pasting it into the year and the movie. Zapping the empty cells. Pasting into the year, the movie, and zapping the empty cells. So let's save this and we'll take a look. And that looks really good. The only thing we have left to fix is we have to take this footer information, basically merge it with the two cells that are next to it. We're going to use call span for that. So down here in that cell, we're going to add call span equals, and we want to merge 3. So we're going to say call span equals 3. And then we're going to get rid of the 2 empty ones. And let's save our changes and reload. And if you wanted this in the center, there is another little thing we can do. We can add a little style to this, a little inline style. We'll say text align, center, and let's reload it. Looks a little better. What we can also do to improve the appearance is we can specify some column widths. We only need to do that in the heading row, and it will carry over to all the detail rows. So we are going to come over here, scroll all the way back up to our heading row, and we are going to make year 20%. So we're going to say style equals width 20%. And I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to paste it in the other two, and then I'm going to tweak the size. So year does not need to be as wide. Movies should be a little wider because the title of the movies is longer. So we'll make that about 45. And then for the stars, we'll make that about 35. And let me save that. And that looks way better than it did before. And at this point, our Hitchcock page is done. Now, if you look at yours and you have a little random extra column off to the right here, what happened is you have an empty column somewhere. You used row span or column span and you forgot to delete the empties. So take a look and make sure that if you're using row span and column span that the empty cells have been removed.